Stephen A., just your first blush impression. What do you make of this news today?
Not surprised at all. Expected it months ago, particularly after the outburst from Stan Van Gundy, basically talking about he didn't care and that Dwight Howard wanted to get him fired because upper management had told him so. Basically, you knew from that moment forward that Stan Van Gundy would be gone once the season had expired. Not surprised by that, and not surprised by Otis Smith being gone as well, because even though he had been compromised because Alex Martin came up in there and he was pretty much running the show as it pertained to Dwight Howard, he basically stripped Otis Smith of his powers, because if it were up to Otis Smith, he would have moved to Dwight Howard before the trading deadline had expired. And the reality is that he hasn't been allowed to do his job. He had been compromised, and to some degree Stan Van Gundy had been compromised. They both knew it, so this was definitely a long time coming.
So, Stephen A., what happens next in this organization?
Well, I think they think that, you got rid of those parts, so ultimately that would lean towards Dwight Howard saying they do own his rights because he has elected to opt in. But I'm here to tell you that Dwight Howard does not want to be there, despite the fact that he opted in. Even prior to that, when I said he wanted to leave, he was sincere about wanting to leave, but they guilted him into staying, basically working his family and things of that nature. Got mama crying about him going to the big city. Got the daddy talking about how he needed to stay in Orlando. And that's one of the biggest advocates on behalf of the Orlando Magic organization, Papa Howard, as they call him. I'm calling him. He wants his son to stay in Orlando by any means necessary. But Dwight Howard does not want to be there. Dwight Howard wants to move forward. It's just that he doesn't want to ruffle feathers in the process, because he recognized that he opted into the contract, that they have his rights, and therefore he surrendered control of his own destiny prior to the NBA trading deadline, when he elected the expiration of the trading deadline, because he elected to opt in. So he's got to deal with the consequences of that, meaning Orlando has the right to do what they want to do with him for the next year. But he's hopeful that he'll be moved this summer.
So no GM, no coach, and a superstar who doesn't particularly want to be in Orlando. Tough times for the Magic.
He wants to be in Brooklyn.
He wants to be in Brooklyn.
He wants to be in Brooklyn.
What about the future for Stan Van Gundy? By most accounts, he did a nice job with this team. Stephen A., where does he wind up?
Well, first of all, I think he's a really, really good coach, and he is somebody who was completely undermined, and he was not treated and accorded the respect that he deserves as a head coach in this business. And obviously, I think that the coaching community is going to be incredibly sensitive to that. The only hiccup in all of that is that he is incredibly honest, and he is incredibly outspoken. And sometimes, he has spoken out at an inappropriate time or an inappropriate fashion. And as a result of that, sometimes that makes another executive for a team incredibly reluctant to bring you on board, because they don't want to find themselves in the eye of that storm. So if there's a hiccup in all of this, it's going to be because of that, not because of his coaching ability.